Shri Ganesha Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha. Welcome to all for this session on Ramayana to chapter 89 of Yuddha Kanda. In the previous chapter, after the inevitable fight with Lakshmana, Indrajitha tried to remind Lakshmana of their previous encounter, where both Rama and Lakshmana were downed because of the shower of arrows thrown by Indrajitha. But then Lakshmana ridiculed him, saying that show your prowess in action and not through bragging and playing in the fighting in the war with by hiding themselves is basically the act of a coward and the rogue and not of someone who is honest and brave, and ask him to stand in front of him and use the arrows properly. Meanwhile, the son of Dasharatha, slayer of his enemies, arming himself with arrows, loosed them in fury on that Indra of Titans, and that at that twanging of his bowstring, the Titan leader, his countenance ashamed, fixed his gaze on Lakshmana. Vibhishana, beholding the blanched features of the son of Ravana, said to Saumitri, who was engaged in combat, O long armed warrior, I behold inauspicious signs round Ravana's son. Hasten, therefore, for he is assuredly nearing his end. Thereupon Saumitri, selecting some arrows resembling venomous snakes, let fly those barbed shafts like unto exceedingly poisonous serpents on Indrajitha, and he, struck by those missiles like unto thunderbolts hurled on him by Lakshmana, was dazed awhile, his senses stupefied. Thereafter, beholding the valiant son of Dasharatha standing in the field, he flung himself upon him, his eyes red with anger, and drawing near, he began to taunt him afresh, saying, Who is it that you have forgotten? How is it that you have forgotten my prowess? When at the first encounter you and your brother were bound and laid low, you who do now seek to enter into combat with me anew in that great struggle under my arrows resembling thunderbolts, both of you with your followers were first felled to the earth by me and then deprived of your sense. It seems it had escaped your memory. Since you have dared to challenge me, it is clear you desire to enter the abode of Yama. If at the first assault you did fail to recognize my superior strength, I shall now demonstrate it to you. Stay, therefore, and face me with resolution. Indrajitu, facing an imminent defeat, keep on bragging about himself, about his past deeds, which he did it like a coward, hiding himself, fighting against Lakshmana, Rama and Lakshmana. Speaking thus, he pierced Lakshmana with 7 arrows and Hanuman with 10 powerful whetted shafts. Thereafter, with redoubled fury, Indrajitha pierced Vibhishana with 100 well-aimed darts. Seeing this, the younger brother of Rama, unmoved, began to laugh, saying, This is nothing, and the lion among men, Lakshmana, undaunted, picking up some dreadful darts, hurled themselves in anger on Ravani in a fight, saying, you, it is not thus armed that warriors enter the fray. O Night Ranger, your darts are trifling and without power, conducing to my ease. It is undoubtedly not in this wise that brave men fight. When these words he from his bow loosed a shower of arrows on his adversary, shattered by Lakshmana's shafts. The heavy golden armor of the Titan fell to pieces on the floor of the chariot, like a mass of stars falling from the sky. His coat of mail riddled with wounds inflicted by Narachas, the valiant Indrajitha resembled the rising sun and full of ire the courageous son of Ravana of redoubtable valor struck Lakshmana with 1,000 shafts, cleaving his celestial armor. Then, exchanging blow for blow, they rushed on each other and breathing heavily, engaged in a terrible struggle, and in the twinkling of an eye, their limbs were lacerated by arrows, and from every part of their bodies, the blood flowed. For a long time, these two valiant warriors tore each other with their sharp weapons, and in their unbridled energy, the two skilled combatants sought to overcome each other. Both riddled with a mass of arrows, their armor and standards shattered, caused the hot blood to flow as waterfalls let loose their torrents, and they let a dreadful hail of missiles fly with a great clamor like unto the dark destructive clouds of doom, losing their floods from the sky. For a long time they fought thus without turning back or experiencing any fatigue, and those foremost of archers let fly their shafts again and again, and the multi shaped darts crossed and recrossed each other in the air with agility, speed, and grace. The struggle between man, and Titan continued with an appalling din, and each on his side raised a tremendous clamor, inspiring terror like unto a fearful tempest, and the sound of those two redoubtable warriors in desperate combat resembled two clouds clashing in the sky. With golden footed Narachas, those two warriors sought to overcome one another, inflicting wounds from which rivers of blood flowed, and from their pierced bodies the golden shafted arrows covered with blood fell to the earth in which they buried themselves. By thousands they wetted their wetted shafts converged in the sky, cleaving and riving each other, and both let fall a formidable mass of darts in the struggle, so that they appeared like heaps of kusha grass destined for two sacrificial fires. Bodies of those illustrious heroes, full of wounds, shone like Kimshuka or a Shalmali tree, leafless and in full flower in the forest, and the impact was appalling as Indrajitha and Lakshmana fought, each desirous of overcoming the other. Lakshmana battled with Ravani and Ravani with Lakshmana, each striking the other without ceasing, and streaming of arrows buried in their flesh gave those two powerful warriors the appearance of two hills covered with trees, and their limbs streaming with blood, riddled with arrows, shone like two fires. Thus did they fight for a long time without turning back on in combat or giving way to exhaustion. Nevertheless, in order to allow the invincible Lakshmana, ever in the forefront of the fight, to overcome the fatigue of combat, the magnanimous Vibhishana threw himself into the fray, remaining near him to lend him his support. Thus come to the end, chapter 89 of Yuddha Kanda in Ramayana. Namaste Sharada Devi, Kashmira Puravasini, Twamaham Prarthye Nityam, Vidya Danancha Dehime. Goodbye.